Hi everyone, welcome to Straight from the Divine Tarot. We are Sunday, August 10th, 2025, and this is a general collective reading. You can switch the genders and the roles as you need to throughout the read. Go right ahead, that's not a problem. Please, please, please use your higher wisdom and discernment. Only take what applies and toss the rest. Not every read's going to be for you. These are not personalized readings, okay? So please be mindful as you're listening to these general collective readings. Okay, it's easy to forget that these are not your stories. You get so entranced into the reading and stuff like that sometimes we forget. I do too sometimes, and you have to really think, okay, could this be my story? Maybe there's some similarities in your situation, but if there's more to this situation that you're not aware of, then chances are it's not your story, it's not your situation. Okay, until you know of it, you suspect it, or you intuited it, it's not your story. Please don't take on other people's stories and make rash decisions concerning your life, your family, your relationships, your jobs, based off of a general collective reading. Do more research. Maybe go get a personalized reading done for yourself. Tap into your spirit team, into the divine. Do you understand what I'm saying? Anyhow, I just don't want people going down the wrong way. Thank you for being here. I love you guys so very much. I'm truly grateful to each and every one of you for being here. All your kind words and your love and your support. You mean the world to me. I love you guys. Let's see where we're going to go with this one. Spirit guides, guardian angels, ancestors, the white light. What's the message for the collective at this hour? Discontent and boredom for. This could be a father, a boss, or a leader. Could be a female energy as well. This could be a divine masculine energy for somebody's taking back their power. Somebody with authority is no longer happy with what they're doing. They're just bored with it. They're over it. I'm done. Someone is ignoring someone. They're feeling sorry for themselves, feeling rejected maybe, or this is you. You feel rejected. Someone's feeling sorry for themselves. It's the overarching energy. Castles in the background indicate that abundance is near. This person's back is towards this abundance, this stability. Maybe they know they're not coming into this. Maybe they have to let it go. I don't know. Maybe they're having a hard time financially, you or someone else. Yeah, you got a lot of spiritual strength. So you could be the cornerstone that somebody neglected, threw away. They didn't think you had spiritual strength or anything good about you. They maybe picked you over, you know what I mean? But you bossed up, take back your power here. You have authority, spiritual or 3D or both. You make the right choice. You're very learned. You're very experienced. This is an action taker, male or female. A lot of spiritual strength. This could be you or someone else doing an investigation. Somebody's on their own, going within, doing that soul work, you or someone else. You do have higher wisdom. You have a direct connection with source. Somebody's reflecting here. Going within, doing that soul work and healing does increase your spiritual strength. It does strengthen you. But I really think that somebody's doing an investigation. It's another 999 if this resonates. You're coming to an end of a cycle. You're in solitude. You went within. You overcame these mountains. You put them behind you, all these hardships. And you're standing strong as this pillar behind you. There is an investigation. Somebody's healed. Could be also medical investigation. Maybe you're sick and there's an investigation trying to find out what's going on. You're healing. Somebody's patient. Somebody's very fair, calm, at peace. Somebody wants to reconcile. They're investigating somebody's health. You're at peace. You sowed these seeds. They're now growing. You're divinely protected and guided. You've been able to alchemize, transmute. You're in harmony. You're happy. You made the right decisions. You've ascended. Could have something to do with a higher level soulmate connection or a third party or decision or contract here. So somebody's not coming into material wealth. They thought they were going to. You were almost there, but you were too strong. There's an investigation. Someone's losing a lot of stuff here. Money, stability, property, whatever this is, jobs. Or they try to take this away from you, a third party or something. There's a contract. Somebody doesn't want to be alone. They're going to claim they were unaware of what was going on. They don't want this coming out into the open, that's for sure. You're about ready to... Somebody's about ready to come out with something. Truth and clarity. There it is. You're 17. That's the star card. It might be coming out into the open. Pardon me. This is healthy. This is balanced. Wish fulfillment. Divine intervention. You have divinity. You're in your north node. Wishes are being granted. You're an inspiration. Somebody's hoping here, praying to shut you up or something. They wanted you trapped in fear. You're not trapped in fear. 8. They lost control, or they can't control you. Somebody has no integrity, loyalty, or honesty. They're going to have to humble themselves. They lied, and or they're trying to shut you up. I don't know. It's all over the place. Let's see where we're going to go with this. It's hard to tell. So we have discontent and boredom. 4. Where are we going with this for the collective, please? Somebody's bored now. Sunset. Lost loved one. Memories. Elder. Night falls. They know they're going to have to walk away from a home or property or business. By nightfall, maybe. By tomorrow morning, maybe. Somebody lost a loved one. This could be somebody in the later years of their life, right? Their golden years. Somebody's got to let go of something, or some property, or some money, or you. Surrender, open up, give up, and release. They didn't realize how strong you were. You could be a singer. Somebody else is a singer. Somebody's getting ready to sing, meaning speak the truth here. This all has something to do with your soul. Somebody's singing praises here. Somebody was putting on a performance, a song and dance. Oh, I get it. You could be meeting a singer, or you are a singer. There's an encounter here. Meet by chance, love at first sight, and a crush. So you might be coming into a higher level soulmate connection. Or this could be past, present, future. Key. Somebody holds the key to your heart. You hold the key to theirs. You could be a key holder. You could be a high priest or priestess, a hierophant. Key people, core of the problem, and pass. So they try to pass you over. Someone wants to pass you a key. Or you might have, okay, so somebody could have stolen some money, property, or business. They're going to have to give it back to you. It could be a divorce or settlement or something like that. You're going to have to meet one another to give you the key. Somebody's curious. They want to see who you are, what you look like. Imagination, try, and desire. So curiosity killed the cat. Or it could be somebody else working on this case that wants to meet you. It might be love at first sight to give you these keys to this home, property, or business. You could be a key holder, sparking someone's desire here and imagination. There's lots of noisy sound here. Information overload, social media, and out of control. So somebody tried to trash you. They were out of control, trying to trash you. They're nothing but trash. Tried to trash your name, or said you were trash to this person. Now this person gets to meet you. Waste, worthless, and mouse. Someone was trying to collect something, a collector. Antiques. It could be an antique. Something antiques. They have to hand them over to you. Something unique here. Somebody was sampling something, dipping into, I don't know, trash. Somebody's got a lot to chew on here. Lots to mull over. They bit off too much. They chewed off more than they can. They bit off what they can chew. There we go. So deep thinking, remember, solve puzzles, and code word. Somebody could think you're hot. You're very popular, or something's getting hot here. Somebody's focused on you, or you're focusing on whatever you need to do. This is going to be explosive. Forgotten person. Somebody's questioning. They could have, okay, core, past, an old friend. Again, core with the key as well. Where was the key? Key people, core of the problem, and core, past, and old friend. So these are the key people involved in trying to do you dirty. Yeah, silence here. Keep silent, coercion, and hint. They're under suspicion. Vigilance, hostility, and jealousy. What was I picking up earlier here? Okay, so this could have been somebody that's going to claim they forgot to give you what was yours or what they owed you. Oh, did I forget to put their name on that list? Did I not send them the check? Yeah, no, they didn't. They're going to claim they were unaware of something, that you were accidentally overlooked. Oh, it's not my fault. Now we'll just fix it now. Because you could have lost a loved one. It could be an inheritance, life insurance. Somebody wanted to keep something for themselves. You're going to have to give it up by nightfall or by morning. Boredom and discontent, 4 and sunset. Bank failure. Yep, bankruptcy. Could be a bank deposit box. It could be anything. Could be even a bank. Who knows? Caution. They should have stayed in their own lane. They could be on the road, or you're moving forward, or somebody's moving forward with something. Someone's toxic. Game over. Or they claimed you were toxic. This is game over. This is nothing but a hater. Somebody's got to keep a promise. The police are involved. Red lipstick stains. Tantric smecks. A situation's about to explode. Shit's about to pop off. Anger management. So somebody's full of envy, full of greed, full of whatever. Desire. Not good things. Okay? They're full of envy. Wanting what was yours. They didn't want, or even if it's not wanting what's yours, what hypothetically they might not want what's yours, but they certainly don't want you to receive what is meant for you. Bored and discontent, 4, sunset, and bank failure. They're hurting for money. They're trying to affect your banking, your finances. Unexpected. Get ready for unexpected financial setbacks. So they're going to face setbacks here. The financial crisis may be beyond your control, but the outcome is still up to you, how you want to handle it, so to speak, right? Tackle things in advance and prepare for the unexpected. So try to brace yourself. If you are coming into financial pinch, try to brace yourself. Try to think ahead what you're going to need, what you can go without, how can you save money, cut corners maybe for the month or the week or however long, right? Has something to do with an investment. Your finances are improving and expanding. So your finances are going to improve. Theirs isn't. Now is a great time to make an investment, set a solid foundation, and the fruits of your labor will follow. So you have, as boring as the work might be or as tedious, you set the foundation. You know what you need to do and you do it. You're not, I don't mean to cut corners, by the way, when I say cut corners with money, but what I meant is if you can slow down, I don't know, say you get your nails done, right? Once every couple of weeks or whatever, maybe you can slow it down. Or a famous one I like to use is, cable packages. They're so expensive nowadays. Maybe you can pare it down and or get rid of it altogether. Most people watch YouTube and or, streaming. They watch online anyways. So I'm not saying don't watch cable, but I'm just saying if you can pare down, try to do so to save yourself some money or stress. So somebody's having a meltdown. I'm really picking up somebody's getting an ultimatum. They have to hand over keys to you or money or a check. They're not liking it. Meltdowns, fighting over money, anger issues at work. Try counseling and meditation. This could be a divorce, separation, division of property. Somebody's having a meltdown. Maybe you've been to counseling. It's not working. Because, when you both have to want it to work. If only one wants it to work, it's not going to happen. Unlocking. This keeps coming up. Something's unlocking. What was once locked is now ready to be opened. You've unlocked the floodgates of abundance, free from limitations. Obstacles appear to remind you when you're steering off course. So because you're doing well, and maybe they can see it somehow, some way, or hear about it, they're having a meltdown. They were trying to put obstacles in your way, or they're being met with nothing but obstacles now. So stumbling blocks to hurdles, test of faith and willpower, get perspective and keep going. I think that's what you did. They were trying to distract you, not completing your work, short attention span, need small wins and more variety. So this could be somebody you were in a relationship with that wanted variety. They wanted quantity over quality. Well, they can have whatever they want now and they're still not happy. Come on, give me a break. Yeah. You have high wisdom. Somebody thinks that you think you're perfect. Nobody's perfect. Or somebody wants everybody to think they're perfect. Give up your perfectionism. It's causing delays in your finances. You won't move forward if you don't conquer the fear of failure. You have what it takes to improve your finances. You are enough. Nothing and nobody's perfect. This is perilous right now. Money's running short. I mean, this is kind of reminding me too a little bit of my story. I've told you guys about my story about how I started this YouTube channel. I didn't want to, but the divine kept saying you have to do this. Okay, it's all part of your path. You have to do this, blah blah blah. And I didn't want to. I didn't think I'd like it. I didn't think I'd be good at it. I thought I was going to make a fool out of myself. I'm just using this as an example. You know what you need to do. Maybe you don't have enough confidence in yourself yet, but you know that's where you need to go. And you have to start because money's getting tight. And that's what was happening with me. Money was getting tight. And he says you have to start it now. If you don't, you're going to regret it. Eventually, you're going to start it. Why not start it now? And he was right, okay? He said, you're not going to like it at first, but give it 6 weeks and you will learn to love it. And I do, okay? Maybe this is something that you need to do as well. You know, you have to get onto something. Money's getting tight. Even if it's taking an odd job on for now, for the next month. Yeah, it's not going to be pleasant. But, you know, a month goes by really quickly. At least you're going to have a paycheck coming in for the next couple of weeks. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, for the boss that's hiring you, it's not going to be happy because you'll leave right away. But you know what I'm saying? You got to do what you have to do. Maybe hold on to a part-time job a little longer if you have 2 jobs or something like that. I know you want to give it up, but just hold on to it a little longer. So you've experienced many financial highs and lows. Your money is flowing in quickly, only to leave just as fast. There are fast changes regarding money or an unexpected turn in your finances. These people haven't saved. If they stole from you or they were defrauding, of course they're not going to save. These people don't create money, new lives, healthy lives. They destroy. They take. They don't replace either. So, yeah, you're working smart, working smarter. You have a good idea to help you in your work. Or are you complicating things? Often the solutions are simpler than what you think. It often is. We're the ones that complicate it. It's time to clean up both professionally and personally for a fresh start. Focus on your basic needs when spending and save some money. So you have to rethink how you're going to spend your money. Is it really worth buying this, that, and the other thing? If you're going out every day and buying a $10 cup of coffee from, you know, one of those coffee places, you might want to think that. Think about it. Think twice about it. At $10 a day, that's $70 a week just for one coffee. That's a lot of money, right? $280 a month. That's a lot of money when you add it up. Fear of failure. Maybe that's what you're going through. Not putting yourself out there, hard to regroup and recover, try again, find a new way. So you might have fallen on your face a few times, right? Or these people are going to fall on their face. But if it's you, and you know what you need to be doing, you know where your heart belongs, where your path lays, and you haven't succeeded so far, keep getting up and try again. These billionaires nowadays, the way that they got to where they got was the number one thing I've noticed in all of their stories. They have fallen down more often than any of us have fallen down. Embarrassing, you know, disgraced, money-wise, claimed bankruptcy, blah, blah, blah. But they didn't let it stop them. They got back up again and they found somebody else to help them, to lend them more money, to open up a new business. And they kept going. Do you understand what I'm saying? And they're billionaires today, go figure. They just didn't let anybody stop them. There's not going to be any limits. But that's only if you know what you're supposed to be doing. If you're not sure what you're supposed to be doing, if you're going against the grain and nothing's working for you, then chances are maybe it's not for you. You really have to go within and search your soul and know yourself. Once you know yourself, there's no failing unless you choose to fail. So we have boredom and discontent and boredom, 4, sunset, bank failure, unexpected. So this bank could have, if it's not a bankruptcy, it could be the bank seizing their money, freezing their accounts, and therefore they can't access these accounts. Or the bank's taking back a home or a business, closing it down. What's the message, please, Spirit? Could be taxes. It doesn't have to be a bank. It could be the government. But somebody's found out the truth here. And they're going to have to give it up. Whatever is yours, they're going to have to give it to you. Thank you. Oh, boy. Somebody's stuck in a toxic cycle. They give out false, misleading information about you. There's no reconciling this. Something wasn't fair. If it's a love relationship, it was unrequited. If it's family, friend, or business, again, it's not reciprocal. What you gave them, they gave you nothing in return. And somebody could be losing their children or lost their child or children. My condolences, and or you might be fighting this in court. Unrequited love, not going back to the past. Your family ain't shit. A lot of trauma bonding. Somebody has to heal their inner childhood wounds. Never giving you your flowers, you know what I mean? Something's unfair, unbalanced. They can't balance something out. They're in debt. They're borrowing from Peter to pay Paul. Thought they'd make a profit off of this, but it's a loss. Somebody dropped the ball and they can't make this work, so they can't play games anymore. They can't juggle this. Yeah, they made accusations or allegations that were unfounded, or they didn't stand up or protect you and your interest or your honor. They're feeling overwhelmed, defeated. They can't block this any longer. There's a fight, an attack of some sort. Somebody could be owing some nasty people some money, and if they don't pay up, they might get attacked. You know what I'm saying? They're feeling sorry for themselves, rejected and abandoned, bored and discontent with life. People are ignoring them, or they ignored the divine. The divine was working or trying to work with them. I don't know. This is a past relationship. You could have been dealing with some swingers. I'm looking at that swing. Could be a swing vote as well. This could be a board of directors. It's fast communication, fast action, and or travel. You're ignoring their communication. Something's taken off really quickly, and they're feeling sorry for themselves because they're feeling stuck and they're trapped. They don't want to let go. They're causing delays. They're making people wait, or they're having to wait. They don't want to let go. There's no illumination. It's been a waste of time. All a waste of time. All of that shit talking and all of that finagling and all of that fraud for nothing. Something's taken off real quick here. Yeah, ending a third-party situation, a collaboration, or a false contract. Somebody's not getting on with anybody else. They're not cooperative. There's no help here. It's a false contract, or they're in breach. They have no plans here. Whatever they were building, they can't build. It's being destroyed. Poor planning. Somebody's having an emotional outburst. Somebody's immature and sincere and childish. They could have been dealing with some magic, or they're just not sorry for what they've done. They're feeling rejected and abandoned, or they wanted to abandon you, or they lost a child. There's conscious awareness here. You're manifesting something new. They don't want you having new beginnings, by the way. You know what was going on, or somebody else does. You're co-creating with the divine. You're manifesting something new. You have all the resources you need, all the tools you need for success. You will be taking action here. A lot of people's lives will be affected, or it has been affected. See the butterflies? Transformative. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a lot of butterflies. A lot of lives have been changed here. Or this action alone will change a lot of lives. Somebody's under investigation, or they were under surveillance. Somebody's learned something. You could be online. They're watching you. You alchemize and transmute. They're focused on you, or somebody's focused on you, or you're focused on what you need to do. You could be working online. They took some sort of action online, maybe. Delayed communication from afar. Somebody was reckless, careless, and they were foolish. They took unnecessary risks. No new beginnings here. Somebody lied, cheated, and or stole. They're still trying to strategize a way to escape a situation. They're scared. Oh, no, they're holding back. They feel entitled. Lying and cheating and stealing here. They thought you were gullible or naive, or they were. No new beginnings. They're afraid to take a chance here. They were supposed to take some sort of action, and they didn't online. Yeah, this is going towards lack and loss and poverty. They followed another out into the cold. This is being on the outside looking in. This is hurting somebody's confidence for sure. They followed a third party or a cult, covenant, secret society, or friend group. Pleasure seekers out into the cold. Or now they're out in the cold, out of lack and loss. Now they want to reconcile with you. They were partying too much, maybe. Throwing money around like it's, like it wasn't theirs. Because that's exactly what it was. It's not theirs. Or you were going through some really hard times financially while they were laughing it up, partying it up. You know, with their friends, with their third parties, cults, coven seekers, yeah. Maybe a mistress. They want to reconcile with you because you're stable and secure. You're standing in your power. You go your own way. You're unafraid. You're attracting right now. You're charming. You're creating. You're a leader. You're divinely protected and guided. You're unafraid. You are very confident. Yeah, there's a new beginning here. Truth and clarity is a breakthrough. There's communication coming through. You took a different approach. And they were trying to block this communication of this new beginning. Or somebody has an STD. Or they claimed you had an STD and they lied. If it's not an STD, they're just trying to stop something from coming towards you. Something new. And you receiving what's rightfully yours. Male or female, place the genders where it belongs. Okay? You could be a stubborn, willful sort, but in a good way. You know where you need to go, you're going to go. No one's going to stop you or tell you no. You know what I mean? When something's right, yeah. Somebody's jealous of you. Somebody's having a hard time financially, or they left you in dire straits financially. You're taking off here. Something's taking off really quickly for you. One shot and you shot your shot. And somebody's jealous of you. Very materialistic, greedy, selfish, codependent, clingy, lazy, and jealous. Very manipulative. They don't know their value, their worth, or this is what they claimed you were. They were holding back. They're greedy and selfish. Okay? They don't want to let go. It doesn't belong to them. They didn't want to open up. They didn't want to release or let go what belongs to you. This is a family or a large amount of money, an inheritance or spiritual inheritance or life insurance, something, long-term stability. They were living off of this long-term. Now they got to balance this out. They got to be fair. This was your money, Earth Angel. You're healthy. Or they could have went around and said that you're mentally unstable, that you're addicted to this, that, and the other thing, that you're not serious about life. You're just going to squander this money. There could have been a respectability clause if it is an inheritance, and they thought behind your back, well, we'll hold on to this money until they smarten up. And this could have been years. They were living off of this money, your family and or these people. Now they got to balance this out. The truth is coming out. They were talking shit about you, doing magic against you. You definitely transmute and alchemize the magic. This was unwise counsel. They could have said you were, loosey-goosey, sleeping around, blah, blah, blah. You're quite healthy. They could have said you had an STD as well. The truth is coming out. This was all a scam. They were doing magic. This is a love bomber. They're not happy. They were keeping something in the dark here. Lack of trust, no truth or clarity. And it's being exposed now. It's coming to light. They secretly, in the dark, maybe said something on public record about you on the stand. They swore this was the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Or they said it publicly, or it's playing out publicly. They got a lot of attention for doing this. Now they're scared. Because it's coming out publicly what they've done. You could be out in the public eye. This is victory, success, reward, recognition. They've lost control. They lost power. They have no integrity, loyalty, or honesty. They're going to have to humble themselves here. They are scared. They said stuff publicly or on public record they're not proud of. Maybe that's what they said. You're shame. You're the shame of the family. You're coming into something. They're getting a lot of attention this way. Yeah, this is gold digger, clout chaser material here. Male or female. Very materialistic, greedy, selfish, jealous, and lazy. Codependent and clingy. Corrupt. They only care about their image and what they look like in front of people, what they own. Keeping up with the Joneses. Very money motivated. Get rich quick schemes. You know what I'm saying? It's a bully. It could be two of them or it could be one. definitely took advantage of a situation, took advantage of you, abused others. This is somebody that had no authority to speak on your behalf or take action on your behalf. No authority whatsoever. They got their authority stripped, okay? This could be money managers, could be lawyers, could be judges, could be anybody, male or female. But this is a pathological liar, a user, abuser, cold, calculating, and cruel. This is self-serving. Only could be dangerous. It could be a narcissist, a sociopath, or psychopath. It's somebody that doesn't have a higher perception here. They can't prey on you any longer because this is a bird of prey. They can't overcome these mountains. Yeah, they got bribed, or they bribed others, tempted. This is blackmail. This is a cover-up. They promised everybody all kinds of beautiful things if they got in on this with them, or they had multiple options, or they claimed you did. But this was hopeful, wishful thinking, lots of illusions and confusion. They're looking at what they have now. Yeah. They got bribed. People are just trying to detach themselves, or they're trying to detach themselves from. It could be a non-binding contract. Well, if you sign here and just give me some money up front, I'll make sure you get the return, but bigger. A lot of bullshit here. Okay, I have a lot of delusional thinking. Lots of abuse. They don't know what to do. Because said you have multiple partners, or they have multiple partners. Well, they were in a partnership with you. They partnered up with others to come up after you. Yeah, this is a player energy. Somebody's feeling, they're trying to stall or delay. They want you to come back into another toxic cycle with them. They're getting karma. A reversal of fortune, a change of direction. So these player energies could have thought, you know what, let's hit upon this person who's got big spiritual strength here and take their destiny. Yeah, that's not going to work. Knight of Wands. Somebody's very flighty, didn't think before they acted, did something very hastily. Knee-jerk reactions, right? Plotting and planning, could be traveling. You foresaw what this was. You have great vision, or you're moved to take some sort of inspired action from a vision. Your ships are coming in. You're not looking back. You're prepared or preparing. Ooh, they were plotting and planning your unalive here. Or they could be recently told to get their things in order. It's a sunset, right? They got this dark cloud hanging over their head. This is change. This is ending one cycle to go into another. You could be the phoenix rising as well. For anything new to start or begin, you have to end the old. You're going to jail. They're bound to something here. There's too many obstacles to overcome. They're stuck in their head. This is self-imposed. This is a child, past life soulmate, or in the past, or having nostalgic memories. They wanted to bind you. They want to reconcile with you. I don't know. They wanted you stuck in your head, so you wouldn't notice that they were trying to take you out. Or somebody else is gone. I don't know. They're going to jail. They could be the only one. They wanted to bind you. You could be single, abundant, independent, self-sufficient, stable, and secure. Could be a business owner. You're minding your own business. You have 9 out of 10 pentacles. You're good on your own. And this is bad news. There's been no communication. There's bad news. Somebody lied. They threw rocks and hid hands. They felt entitled. This is a drama starter. This is somebody that's very juvenile. They're jealous. They lost a child. They lied about how they lost a child. Or they're jealous. They're vindictive. They're vile. They're spiteful, bitter, and angry. It's bad news for them. If it's something that was left to you and only to you, they're going to jail, or they're the only ones going to jail. I don't know. They're scared. There's lots of lies, illusions, and deceptions here. They were hiding quite a bit here. There's a lot of confusion. They're under divine judgment. They need to take accountability. This is awareness there. They're afraid of what you're going to say or what the decision's going to be. They want a second chance. Yeah, right. This is yeah, they're scared of this group, or they're doing a lot of hiding things from this group or with this group. It's a lot of conflict, competition, jealousy, drama, rivalry. This group's taking, it could be multiple groups. If they're doing magic against you or trying to unalive you, they went to multiple groups, multiple people. Okay, well, it didn't work for you. That it's my turn now, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of conflict going on here, giving out false information, misleading information. This is, didn't want to learn their lesson, can't pay up. They're not going to get paid. This is divination abuse. Maybe they went to many readers, and these readers took them in for money and gave them a poor reading. I mean, if they lied to these readers and said, tell me about this person, claiming they were you, trying to get into your energy, it's divination abuse. There's a price to pay for that. They bore false witness. They perjured themselves. They're in debt. They took a huge gamble and loss. This is bad financial news. No new beginnings. They don't want to start off slow and build up, right? They want it all right now. They did too much. Okay, so it could be also blackmail. And if you don't pay up, this could be the end result. They're in debt to these people, or they wanted you gone. So the doppelganger, ooh, they try to sacrifice you. It might be the doppelganger that's going to get sacrificed instead. This is a power of attorney, power and control, or a doppelganger. Very chaotic, toxic energy, greedy, selfish, jealous, abusive, neglectful, possessive, and controlling. And they're in their emotions here. They wanted you to sacrifice. They wanted to sacrifice you, take your voice away, devalue you, disempower you, and call it love. I don't think so. They know that you're loving. This was a bad investment. They're crying now. You get what you give with the Seven of Pentacles in reverse. This is the end of the road. They can't go any further. They don't have the paperwork or you or your signature to pull this off. If they didn't invest wisely, this is misappropriation of funds, or they have to relocate. Judgment went against them. Could be bankruptcy, lack of awareness, acceptance, and accountability. They don't want to be held responsible for this, but they're going to be. Judgment went against them, or they misjudged you, or this is harsh judgment. No second chances. This is karma. There's a warlock or a poser or a player. Somebody bit off more than they can chew. And people are trying to distance themselves, or they're trying to distance themselves from the situation. It's a non-binding contract. They can't bind you. You're not toxic. You have no addictions, obsessions, or codependency issues. You remain emotionally balanced, stable, mature, loving, kind, nurturing, and sweet. They're angry that you detached from them, that they can't reattach themselves to you. You could be a mother figure. You don't have to be. You could be a male on this energy. Highly intuitive and psychic. It's a big cup of love here. This is unconditional love. You're very generous of spirit, of time, of energy, but you put a cap on it. Charity begins at home, right? Yeah, you knew that this person is distorted. This is a bully, a tyrant, very aggressive, male or female. Could be a bad father. It could be a bad boss or leader, but somebody had no authority to do this. They're going to claim this father's not yours, or this is a bad father or something. It doesn't have to be. It could be anybody. It's corrupt. It's abuse of power. It's abuse of authority. They had no authority to do this, or they lost it or abused it. They bent to public pressure. They were willing to do whatever it took to win at any cost, but this was out of greed, jealousy, ego, and pettiness, and lots of abuse took place. And it's coming right back towards them. People working with them are taking on losses now and walking away, or wishing they had of, because it's coming right back to them. Whatever arrows they shoot towards you are being traced right back to them. And it could be something online with their IP addresses. It could be a money trail. It could be anything. Okay, this is disaster. They're willing to do whatever it takes to avoid this tower. Pfft, please. They're all taking on losses. It's ruin for everybody that worked with them. They're heartbroken. It could be an internal disruption, a heart attack or stroke. It could be a father figure. Doesn't have to be. Could be a female in this energy. Place yourself where it fits. But this is something that was malicious, ruthless, and cruel, and careless with you and your feelings and your emotions. Somebody could be drinking and in their feels right now because they're ruined. They wanted to ruin you. This is what's happening to them. They're emotionally manipulative, emotionally unavailable, and emotionally immature, self-serving, and self-absorbed. Very manipulative, very dangerous. They're crying now because you're getting your justice. Wish fulfillment. Ending a cycle to begin a new one. Lessons learned. You could be traveling and or moving. And yeah, they tried to sacrifice you. They tried to scapegoat you. This is the end of a family or a group. Somebody's not happy. You're well protected. This is victory. And you're moving on. They're not happy that you get to move forward in life. Spirit plucked you out of rough waters and brought you into calm waters to heal. They're not happy. Somebody could be transitioning. They could be on the run. Or you're just moving on to a better place. You overcame, persevered. You put up some boundaries. They're paranoid. They're very paranoid. They're very defensive. You're very protected, by the way. This is a lot of emotional wounding. So you're not looking back at them. You know who was behind you doing this all along. It was some sort of family or group. They were doing really shallow things behind your back. You let them do it. Not because you wanted them to do it, but okay, you want to sink yourself? Go right ahead. Go sink yourself. You know, it's something to do with family, with that tree. You're firmly rooted here. There's a lot of emotional wounding. You know who was behind all of this emotional wounding. They tried to cause for you. They tried to trigger you. So whatever childhood wounds you had, they tried to play on those to get a reaction out of you. And you went, yeah, it's all right. You don't trust these people. They're blocked here. They're blocking payments. They're not getting paid. They were blocking your payments. They were intercepting your mail or your money. Someone was very unfaithful. This is not the rite of passage. They are not dependable, unreliable, immature, and irresponsible and lazy. They can't slow you down any longer. Yeah, they wanted you stuck. Maybe they wanted to sacrifice you. They didn't have no more money for this now. They're stuck. They're trapped. Trying to delay something, keep you waiting. Now they got a lot of stress on their they had a lot of burdens on their back. They're buckling beneath the weight of these burdens. You're showing how responsible you are. Capable. Yeah. They're burdened about this money, this opportunity. Or replacing this money. These people were opportunists. You're blessed. You're very blessed. Yeah, they have to cut their losses. They have to walk away. They don't want to walk away. They knew it was a losing proposition when they did this. I don't know why they went through with it, but they were so emotionally invested, I guess. They just dug their heels in. They're refusing to move on. They want you to come back. They have to bring something back. They have to bring this money back. They're making a decision. Somebody's at a crossroads. This is, they've decided. They picked a path here. They're watching you from afar. This could be, if you have a platform of any kind, somebody wanted you off your platform. This is a warlock, crooked judge or leader, very corrupt. Abuse of power, abuse of authority, bad counsel. Somebody was pulling strings for them. They broke the laws of divorce or separation. False contract. Wish fulfillment. They are praying here. You made an unbeliever into a believer, maybe. The worst has happened. This is a nightmare. You're out in the public eye. You're fine. You're healthy. You're balanced. You're an inspiration. This is divine intervention. It's going to seem like a miracle. Oh boy. They are praying. You're in your north node. You're not worried. This is new beginnings coming towards you. New passion, opportunities, growth, and expansion. Somebody's got to take some sort of action. You have some sort of authority or somebody with authority stepping in. Whatever you touch, you're able to grow from. Whatever you work on, you're able to grow. It grows for you. Whatever they touch turns to shit. Yeah. It's a false contract. Not a non-binding contract. Poor decision. They're getting some consequences. Didn't use their higher wisdom. Whatever this was, if it was a contract, it was all one-sided, stacked against you. You had no knowledge of it. They were doing it behind the scenes. And or this is a karmic. You know that this was a karmic. You're taking action against this karmic person. There's no harmony here. This is a lesson. It's not a blessing. Yeah, there's not going to be a reconciliation. They can stay in their toxic cycle here. They gave out false information, misleading information about you. They lost their child or children. Unrequited love, not reciprocal. They want you to go back into a toxic karmic cycle with them. I don't think so. If it's your family, you don't have any good memories of them. Yeah. You're avoiding them, ignoring them. They're in denial here. They've been denied. Blocked. They never give you your flowers, by the way. This is a mental... There's a stalemate going on. There's a mental conflict. Somebody's being denied or have been denied. They're acting like a victim. You're at peace. You had nothing to go on but your intuition. They were trying to block you from seeing and hearing anything or getting any information, possibly. Somebody's very paranoid. They don't see what's coming next. They're hiding and cloaking. They're going to claim they were unaware. They're going to act like they didn't know what was going on. Bull crap. Somebody doesn't want to be alone. They don't want to be investigated or scrutinized. Don't want to go within and do that soul work. They're going to claim that they had no idea what was going on. They weren't aware that you were going... okay. They're trying to hide and cloak that they said you were mentally and emotionally unstable. Somebody's going through a dark night of the soul. You were able to let go of your past. Yeah. And said that you were unstable. You were homeless. Wow. They're going to be homeless now. They're losing their stability, their business, their family. Somebody's non-committal. The party's over. There's no redemption. Something's happening quickly. Could be a bailiff, a sheriff, a cop coming. Fast communication, fast action. They got to vacate quick. They're angry. Could be getting kicked out of a motorcycle club or some sort of club. This person could be carrying, you know, if you know what I'm saying. They could be packing, so be careful. They wanted to attack you. There's no redemption for trying to attack you. They need to heal. You're at peace. They want to rush communication, rush towards you. They need to put something to rest with you. This person was taking pot shots at you one way or another, whether it's spiritual, physical, verbal, or doing this behind your back. Lying prone in this canoe, taking a shot at you, and then lying down again, expecting you not to know who was behind this, but you definitely do know. Okay, they're exhausted, possibly. They're dreaming of something. You're at peace. You've healed. You're working here. You worked on yourself. You put a lot of work into yourself. Very diligent, hardworking. Very disciplined. This is success. Eight of Pentacles. You mastered your emotions and your craft. You planted these seeds. You watered them. You nurtured them. And you can sleep good at night. You know what I mean? Because you took care of what you needed to take care of in life. You knew what you needed to do, whether it was mundane or not. You know, whether you hated doing that chore or not, you did it anyways. Yeah, they were working to destabilize you, to defraud you. But that's what they were doing through their work. This was fraud or theft. It wasn't fair. They breadcrumbed you, used and abused you, treated you horrible. They're going towards bankruptcy, or tried to make you go towards bankruptcy. They're no longer in business here. They can't do business anymore. They can't pay up. And there's a lot of hands going, gimme, gimme. This is change. Divine timing. You're very fortunate. They wanted your destiny here. You're going into a new... You might be having a financial pinch right now before you go into a new destined cycle. Yep, before you move on. This could be the police coming to see you. Authorities. Somebody needs to take control of a situation. Radical acceptance. This is awareness. They need to take accountability and bring back balance to a situation. You overcame bankruptcy, whatever this was. This was unfair. It was not equally yoked. They can't balance this out. This was fated. You overcame, persevered, you're moving forward. This is universally driven, by the way. This is victory. You're in control here. This is fated. I was picking something else up, though. Maybe they defrauded, got a car under your name or something like that, and they can't pay it off. And that's what's bringing this change about, bringing all of these authorities to their door, maybe. Or this is them getting kicked out of a business or a home. This is the authorities saying, it's time to go. Time is up. You know, sunset's here, or the next day's here, you got to go. Bored and discontent, they're feeling sorry for themselves. Boo-hoo, everybody cry for me. They're not as spiritually strong as you. So they possibly made you go through these hardships in the past. And you went through it. You had to do what you had to do. You made adjustments. You didn't spend unwisely. You learned how to stretch your dollar. You know what I mean? How to make ends meet. These people can't make ends meet. You're spiritually strong. That's why these people aren't. They're facing some sort of bank failure, bankruptcy, or tried to put you through it. They're hitting the road here. They better hit the road. They might be on the road to see you. That's the other thing I was picking up. So maybe whoever was in on this took this money or partial parts of this money and went traveling, bought cars, bought a boat, I hear, okay, and or a home. You really, really started spending, you know, going on trips with their floozy friends or, you know, fair weather friends and paying the tab and being all big miss or big mister, and it wasn't even their money. And now they're stuck having to pay for it. They're going to pay it all back. It's the sunset here by sunset or tomorrow morning. Lost loved one. This is money's from a lost loved one, maybe. And they're going through down memory lane. This is somebody, an elder in your family, or this money was from an elder. And by nightfall, something's going to happen by nightfall. They got to let go of this. Surrender, open up, give up, and release this investment. They're having unexpected. The other thing is, if they were trying to dry up your money, whatever they were doing, spell work or whatever, trying to dry up your money, by them doing this to you, the divine's going to make sure that they experience it, but worse. So whatever they do to you, they're just doing it to themselves, but worse. Do you understand what I'm saying? So by them trying to dry up your money, they dried up their own money. And now they want this money, the rest of the money, unlocked so they can get in there and pay their bills so they won't lose their house, because that was also fraudulent, most likely. Their cars and whatever else they have to pay for. So I get it now. I get it. So if this money's locked in, maybe they get paid once every 3 months. You know, every time it goes up for review or something like that. They review your health charts, blah, blah, blah. And they've tampered with all these papers. It was all fraudulent. They want this money now because they're going to lose this house because they're too busy spending wildly as if the money's not theirs, because it's not. Something like that. But you got through it because Spirit was there to help you get through it. You know, sometimes we're on top of that wheel. Sometimes we're at the bottom. We have to learn to humble ourselves when it happens, because it does happen. More and more these days. You know, everybody's having a hard time nowadays. You know, I saw this young girl on, I can't remember what I was on, what platform, but she got upset and she got online. You know, she did a video of herself with a stack of bills, and she's going, "You bitches think that I'm broke, that I'm a nobody." I don't know if she cleaned out her bank account or stole this money, but she was showing off this money, wearing name brand shoes and clothes, showing off to these people that really aren't her friends. Why are you doing this? Why do the youth of today have to feel like they have to have a name brand on, or else they don't fit in? Clothes are clothes. Did you not hear? You know, the Prada, all of these name brands, they're being made cheaply. They're made cheaply in China. And they're overpriced. They're overpriced to the people who can afford it, you know? It's stupid. It's priorities, please, people. I'd rather eat and have a roof over my head, you know what I mean, than trying to keep up with the Joneses. Where are we going with this? Yep. The devil's in the details. Virgo 7. Fine print. It's a contract of some sort. Detail. Look closer. Inspection. Research. Be careful. In depth. Pay attention. Don't assume. Thorough. Deep dive. Hidden information. Double check. Read between the lines. So if anybody's trying to get to you to sign a contract, I think you should wait. Look it over. Go see a lawyer. So this is something they networked here. Map. Aries 373. Exploration, find your way, locate. You had to find your way. These people are going to have to. Unknown destination. So they traveled around the world, had a great time, or they took this money and put it in offshore accounts. New territory, lay of the land, plan, prepare, chart a course. Read the signs, figure it out. Directions, new perspective. What did I say? It's about perspective, right? 4, Gemini, 34, hammock, rest, relax, time off. So during this time, you got to rest and relax, but also to heal. Time off, pause, suspend. So somebody's going to get suspended maybe without pay. Let's hope. Sleep, supported, meditate, inactive, recovery. So they're going to have to recover this money. You're going to recover this money, or you're in recovery. Find relief, vacation, waiting, suspended, between two things in limbo, self-actualization. So something has to, yeah, this could be somebody wanting to take you out for life insurance as well. Black Widow, 343, Aquarius. There's a lot going on. 343. Black Widow, betrayal, warning, twisted, turncoat, cunning, danger, toxic situation or relationship, web of control, entrapment, unexpected attacks, insidious, poisonous, and low vibration. So they could still be trying to attack you, but it's not doing anything. It's just going right back to them, like I said. They're going to be arrested. 43. Wow, 34, 34. 34 means something to me. Wow. Virgo yet again. So Virgo's bookending this. Handcuffs, control, defenseless, target, handicapped, held back, prey, suppressed, need to break free, detained by external forces, applying force, incapacitated, submit, and feeling powerless. They are powerless. 2, Aries. Yeah, you've eclipsed these people, or we're having an eclipse around now, around this time, aren't we? Or it went by already. Union of opposites, conceal, event, mask, upstage, merge, transform, camouflage, hide, overshadow, loss of power, temporary block, support, sudden darkness, and reveal. And this is 24. This is 42, 24. Cat, apathetic, disinterested, aloof, my way or the highway. So it was all one-sided, stacked against you. It was all for their gain. And even these people that are taking on losses and getting in trouble, they couldn't care less about these people. And I think these people are finding this out. Unflappable, cool cat, unaffected, not my problem, what I want, when I want it, cool and calm and disengaged. And 49, balance. This is Libra, balance and justice. Chocolate, satisfaction, perfection, love, romance, treating yourself, sweet, rich, smooth, splurge, aphrodisiac, the good stuff, fine dining, do things right, celebration, and elevated mood. So this person was eating and partaking of the finer things in life. It could be somebody that's addicted to chocolate. It runs deep. It goes deep. This is Cancer, 98, 8. This is also a number of karma and abundance. They were trying to drain this well, take everything out of this well before you got to it or knew about it. Deeper meaning. They were rough. They could have been trying to really do you in financially. They've done themselves in financially. Deeper meaning, communities. There's a whole community. More than one community is involved. I'm sure of it. They went community shopping, coven cult practitioner shopping to do this against you. Maybe even hitmen or hit women. You know what I mean? So community, hidden emotions, nourishing, social resources. They could attack. Now they have to take social resources out. I wonder if it's going to be in their name or yours. True feeling, support, savings, perception, sustenance, looking deeper, provided for in consciousness. So you weren't worried because you know that divine always provides for you. You know that as long as you're fair about it, you cut out what you don't need, blah, blah, blah. What am I doing? You know, you don't need that stuff. You cut that out. Like for me, I knew I had to quit smoking. I didn't quit smoking because of money, but I tried in the past. It didn't work. But I did eventually quit smoking, thank God. But I don't know why I couldn't quit when I needed to, when I needed the money. But it is what it is, you know. That's how insipid that addiction is. I found myself in the middle of winter going out to the store to get a pack of smokes in minus 40 degree weather, whereas I would never, ever do that for anything else. You know what I mean? So you know it's an illness, it's a disease, but I'm talking about nicotine here. If they're addicted to other things, then imagine what else they can do, right? Get a couple of these and then we'll shut it down. Reactive abuse. So they wanted you to fit the narrative that they gave about you. You're crazy, you're this, that, and the other thing. Backpedaling now. Yep, they're trying to save their ass. Well, you know, I might have said that, but, you know, it was 100%. They're backpedaling. They have to visit the pawn shop, pay their bills, to eat. You're a chosen one, or they claim they were. Yeah, you're going to be celebrating soon. Or they claim they were chosen one and they wanted everybody to celebrate them. There's an apology coming. So these spiritualists that came after you, try to manipulate you, right? Maybe they're coming back in to manipulate you with an apology. Cult and coven. There we go. They got these cults and covens involved. Witches and warlocks. And they're taking on losses now. I can't make this up. There's a lot of slander, gossip, and rumors spread about you. They might be getting sued as to your parenting, or this is a parent. Poisoning the minds of others, or tried to poison you. A side piece involved, or they claimed you were a side piece, a side dude. Someone's very insecure. So maybe this side piece wanted to be you. That could be the doppelganger. You're very gifted. They wanted something. They wanted to be gifted. To be seen as gifted. I don't know. It was all one-sided. So they could have taken this money, this property, whatever, and gifted it to their side piece. They wanted their side piece to be a divine being. Their side piece is not going to be a divine being. Sorry, they're not. They're power hungry. They wanted your spiritual gifts and or your spiritual inheritance or something like that. Mysterious and mystery. So you're a mystery to these people. This person's a know-it-all. Something to do with paternity. They could be saying that your father's not your father. Yeah, something to do with loyalty. Plausible deniability. See, we didn't know. We weren't aware. Yeah, right. Angels are protecting you, okay? This could be a motorcycle club, like I said. Allegedly, you know what I'm saying? They're going to get some time here. This has been going on for a long time. Time traveling. You could be a time traveler. Or they took all this time to travel with your money and with their third parties and their friends, their fake friends. Now they're facing homelessness. Or maybe you were facing homelessness and they were traveling. Player energy. Healing. Now they want to heal. You heal from this. Yeah, this is a sex worker. Maybe they're going to have to go out and do some work on their back now to make some money. Or they claimed you were a sex worker. You must have healed from that. No, this is all false. False love bombing on you. Co-workers. Yeah, they're regretting what they've done. Retaliation, revenge. So these cults, coven, secret societies, witches and warlocks might be trying to take it out on them. Yeah, you're in your north node. So they want to take it out on this person that got them suckered into this, because somebody said you were in your south node. You're in your north node. You're leveling up. And they wanted to level up off of you. They're under surveillance. They disrespected you very much. They're very superficial. They thought it was funny. Now, reversal. It's not. Is it still funny? They're trying to cover this up now. Lots of secrets to cut. They're flying monkeys competing with you. Blocked communication. They're all in poor health. You're too spiritually high-ranking, and they're cowards and fakes. And they're all codependent. There you go. They could all be the same sex, and or these people are into the same sex situations. I don't know. Take it for whatever it is. This is righteous. They find you righteous here. You could be a righteous tarot reader. They're trying to find a righteous tarot reader to tell them what's going on, to tell them whether there is an investigation or not. There is an investigation. They got nothing to lose now. Yeah, they targeted you, or they're targeting. They're being the target now. Whoever got these cults and covens involved, this is fated. It's all about theft. Now they're left in shock and they're shook. They have to settle with you. They could have been stealing money since your birth, or there could be a birth of a child or birth of a business. Someone's lazy here. They're in denial. They want a famous celebrity, or this is going to bring you famous celebrity. Yeah. Neglect. They neglected you. Evidence and proof. So this could be playing out quite publicly in front of everybody. So everybody knows about it but you, right? You're always the last to find out, but you're not going to lose, that's for sure. They're going to be the last to find out exactly what the divine has planned for them. Now, right now, you might be in the midst of watching them backpedal, or this is a group, cult, coven, secret society that's watching this person try to backpedal. But I'm sure the angels are keeping you quite abreast of the situation, what's happening. Only, what you need to know, but don't worry, everything's under control. So congratulations. I'm happy for you. I hope you like the reading. Until next time, take care.